Orthel, our next guest was not only a top official in the presidency of President George W. Bush, but also the only senior White House staffer to lose a family member in the 9/11 attacks. Brad Blakeman was in the West Wing that day, watching the tragedy unfold on television, not knowing that he would lose a loved one that day. His nephew, Thomas Jurgens, was a former Army medic and a senior New York court officer. The courthouse, as you know, just a few blocks from here. So Thomas took a jury van, a van that's usually used to transport jurors. He filled it with Army supplies and drove right over here to the Twin Towers right after the first plane hit. He tried to rescue people. His body, sadly, never recovered. Brad Blakeman, former deputy assistant to President George W. Bush, joins us now. Brad, our condolences, of course, and sympathy at the loss of Thomas. First, can you bring us back to that day? You're in the White House. You start watching television and you're thinking, you know, strategy, professional responsibility, not knowing what was unfolding here.
It was to be a typical day, Eric, at the White House. I had the president always scheduled for 21 days. And of course, after the attacks of 9/11, that schedule went out the window. We were scheduling by the minute. But when I saw the second plane hit the South Tower, it was clear America was under attack. I said that to my assistant. I walked down the hall in the West Wing to the Situation Room. They were watching things in real time because, as you know, there's a lag between what we see and what we know. And then we were told to muster in the White House mess, which is the dining facilities for the White House staff. And there we were told to evacuate, that a plane was coming for the White House. At our relocation place, I was responsible for about 100 staff, and we went to work. And we continued that work until such time as I was told to release that staff back home, and then a handful of us returned to the White House to receive the president that late afternoon so we could address the nation that night. And while I was working, my sister was calling me because she had not heard from her son, Tommy. My brother was calling me, concerned about his nephew, but also he was a commissioner of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which owned the Trade Center. So our family has a special connection to 9/11. And I can tell you how proud I was, and not only the people I served with, but the president who led this country at a most difficult time. He was focused, he was deliberate, he was calm, he was collected. And I've never been more proud than to be at the White House that day.
I can't imagine trying to balance that with getting the call from your sister and also from your brother, sister-in-law and your brother. I mean, talking about Tommy, saying, have you heard? What can you find out? Can you reach out to him? Tell us a bit about Thomas. We're seeing a picture of him right now. I mean, the type of guy who would commandeer a jury van and run over here.
Well, you know, we used to kid Tommy. We said, what uniform are you wearing today? He was a senior court officer. He was a combat-trained Army medic. He was a volunteer fireman. His life was about service. So, you know, when my sister was calling me, I had no doubt that Tommy was in the area, of course, and only seeking to help people, whether from afar or entering the World Trade Center South Tower that was fully engulfed in flames. You know, Tommy was told on his radio to leave, and his last response in his radio was, I can't leave, people need my help. So, you know, there's no place he would have rather been than helping people. And although his body was never recovered, his badge and his firearm were, he rests where you are, and that's where he'll be. And we'll always remember his bravery.
Thomas Jurgens, an American hero. We thank him. Brad, we thank you and your family for your service to the nation, and we remember him along with the others today. Brad Blakeman, thank you. And we'll be right back.